Bro, welcome out. Thanks for coming out for the pod, dude. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. It's great to be here. I've already watched a couple of your podcasts. You're doing a great job, man. I love
Thanks,
it. Love the
man.
setup. It's great, man.
Well, for those who don't know, this is my boy Trent Bonney. And I have been working together now for a couple of years. Why don't you tell the people what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a mortgage broker, loan officer.
Mhm.
Really in all of Texas, but obviously based out of DFW. My office is over in Colleyville. So I've been doing that now I got in the business in 2021. So things were crazy.
Dude, that was like right before I got in, and we've been working together now. I was trying out for a few months. I was trying other lenders out. I'm new in the business, and I had a client who had reached out to me. A shout out to Alexis.
Yep.
And she had reached out. She's like, "Hey, I'm already pre-approved with this other guy. I really want to work with him." And it was you. And the next thing you know, I think you invited me out to lunch, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Yo, let's get together and kind of talk it through." I said, "Why not?" And bro,
Yeah.
the rest is history.
Yeah, I think that was so I got licensed 2022. I think that was probably summer of 2022, I would say. Yeah. And that's it's always my rule. If I say I get a referral or something like that it was from a friend that Alexis was, and always call the buyer's agent and, introduce yourself and things like that. You never know what kind of relationship come of it. And obviously, we've done a lot of business together.
We have, dude. And I mean, hey, that was good timing because you never know who you're going to meet. That's why you got to constantly be out there meeting anybody and everybody that you can.
For sure. Yeah.
So what did you do then before you got into the to the loan origination? And
yeah. So I graduated college in 2020. So I did a 5-year degree. I transferred once, so that's kind of what led to that. But yeah, I graduated in 2020. It was during COVID. So it was my senior year, and we were on a cruise ship when everything kind of went down with COVID. So,
no way. You were on the Petri dish ship.
Yeah. we were on a Carnival cruise, and I told myself I'd probably never go back on Carnival again. And I don't know if it was because of the COVID deal or just because of the overall experience. There were some crazy things on that ship anyways. But
did anybody get sick on the cruise ship while you were there? Or
we probably all had COVID, man. We probably did. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really actually get COVID probably till the winter of that year when I knew I took a bite of a burrito and couldn't taste anything. That's what I knew I had COVID. But I don't know. I mean, people had it, I guess, here and there, but thankfully we got off. We thought we were going to get like stranded out there. That's when they were canceling like March Madness, and I think the NBA season got like we were on the boat. I remember we were in the casino on the boat, and rest of the NBA season and March Madness was canceled. We were like, what the heck is going on, man?
Dang, that's intense because you never know. Where were you actually cruising at when that happened?
Dude, it was just Caribbean, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was, we left out of Galveston, I think. And yeah, like COVID actually, it was for me, I really enjoyed parts of it because like it was the end of my senior year basically. So it was March and school got canceled. It was all online classes.
Mhm.
I was in a physics class that I had to pass, obviously, to graduate. And physics, did you ever take anything like that?
Dude, it's physically, I could not take that class because I'm not smart enough.
I think the only reason I passed was because it was online. And
Really?
I wasn't using ChatGPT or anything. So it was still impressive that I passed.
They didn't have it at that time, so it didn't really work out.
I wish they did, honestly. But yeah, COVID was, honestly, it was cool though, because I stayed home for a little bit, played a lot of golf out during that time. That's when golf really blew up. Like, we talked about it. I love playing golf and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
we're going to get into talking about some golf too.
Yeah, man. So,
I was out in, I think it was January of 22. My wife and we went to Jamaica, and while we were in Jamaica, like we had a test before we left, which we tested, came back negative, everything.
Yeah.
And then the day I got there, I started feeling scratchiness in my throat. Like the first beer I drank, I said, okay, I can feel it. And that first sign of sickness. I didn't know it was going to be COVID, but I thought this isn't good because everything points to COVID. You can't sneeze and not automatically have COVID during that time.
Yeah.
But they make you test 2 days beforehand that before you come back to be allowed back into the States.
Oh,
And
dude.
sure enough, I'm getting fevers, everything while I'm there, and I'm like, "This is miserable.
Dude.
I'm not having a good time." And I go in, I think it's like 2 days before, or it was the day before you were supposed to test. 2 days before, I go in there, I said, "Hey, test me." Sure enough, positive for COVID in Jamaica.
I think I remember that roughly, like,
Ye
that was probably when we first met each other, like, that
Maybe I
was
told you the story
or, yeah, you
then,
might have
but
told me, I don't know if it was yeah.
I was still in law enforcement at the
Okay.
time, so this was very end of it.
That's
That's how I know
crazy,
it was in
man.
22, January of 22. But so all of a sudden I got COVID. Jess tests, she doesn't have COVID.
Okay.
So we went ahead and rearranged the flights, and I had her take the first flight out because she tested negative. And I said, "There's no way." And they made me stay for an extra week in Jamaica. But thankfully, Sandals, they were
Oh,
awesome, dude. They
dude.
ended up giving me the full stay. I didn't get charged anything extra. Did have to stay in my room, but I could order alcohol to the room. I could order food to the room.
See?
Like, and they just said I couldn't leave, and then they refunded us the entire trip. So we were able to use that as a credit to go back
Did
another time.
did you actually feel bad with this one, or was it kinda like I know you said it's a little sore throat, but was it like one of the ones where it's like, "I don't really feel that bad, but I have COVID," you know?
It
'Cause if so,
was
that'd be awesome.
It was more of like a mild flu
Yeah,
because I did have the chills. I was like coughing, I had
yeah.
the sore throat, but I wasn't like deathly
Wasn't
ill.
anything
Like
crazy.
it never has been for me. Like, and then again, I'm a relatively healthy guy. I might be out of shape and overweight, but
You're not overweight, dude.
bro, I'm overweight.
Dude, you look good. I mean, the black makes you look, a little bit more jacked and everything, but it's like, yeah,
Yeah, the cameras add 40 pounds, right? I think that's what it is. It's not 10 pounds. On me, it's 40.
nah,
No, but I gotta start wearing the black shirts just so I maybe don't look
dude.
so fat
Yeah,
on
this is actually,
camera.
I'm wearing red today, but I hardly ever wear light colors, man, because I got the dad bod right now,
Nah, dude, you're looking good. You got the dad bod because you're a dad. You got
Yeah.
2 kids now, right?
Yep, yep.
How old are the kids?
So I got a, almost 3-year-old Bryn girl, she'll turn 3 in September, and then, Blakely, she's 6 months. So,
Wow.
added another one in December. So, yeah, I got the 2 kids, and it's been fun. We're pretty well adjusted at this point. I mean, there's
Mhm,
always ups and downs and, in parenting, like, one week it's, very smooth and easy, and the next week someone's sick, waking up in the middle of the night. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it more so in the first couple months with the baby.
for sure.
But I mean, she's been sleeping really well and things like that. So life gets a lot easier, obviously, once that
See,
happens.
I feel the exact opposite way. The newborn stage, I felt like was the easiest of all the stages because they're sleeping, they're eating, they're pooping, they're sleeping again.
Yeah,
And yes, they do get up in the middle of the night. Thankfully, my wife, she was the one who got up with Adeline
yeah,
when she was, an infant because I was working in the mornings, but at least she would get up with her. But once she started crawling,
yeah,
and then all
dude,
of a sudden she started walking. Oh, bro, it's so much more challenging because then they're constantly running around. You have to watch them
for sure.
way more. But I'd be able to just pop her in my arm or put her in a little bassinet thing, play video games. Now I
Yeah,
don't really do that, but
yeah.
it was so easy.
And I'm relatively a new parent, so there's always, I mean, I've only seen the most. I mean, my daughter's almost 3,
Mhm.
so, but when we were starting to think about having another one, Bryn was, 18 months to almost 2 years or whatever, and we saw infants, and we were like, "Wow, that actually looks really easy." Because
Yeah,
Bryn's pretty crazy. But the only so having another one, just kinda going through the infant stage again, I will say it's that first couple months, at least for me and my wife, Kenzie, she kind of feels the same in a way. It's
uh-huh,
like the first couple months, you're almost blacked out a little bit because you're not getting great sleep, and it's just a big adjustment. But for the first kid, it's a big shock that early stage. But you're right. I mean, when they're not mobile and when they're not screaming and even talking back to you, attitude, things like that, it's a little bit easier on that end. There's just different things I think with every stage. You could probably, relate to that from having a little older kids, but
for sure. They each stage has its own challenges and complications and its own fun. But I'll say one kid is harder than 2 kids. And it's because one kid really requires a lot of attention. They need that, and you
Dude,
need to constantly be basically entertaining them. When you have 2, they start to entertain each other. I've heard that 3 is also the sweet spot too.
really?
Like, that's but then again, I'm also thinking, 1, that's a lot more expensive because if you're buying plane tickets anywhere,
Dude,
that's now you're separating the family because they have basically 2 to a row or 3 to a row at most. So you might get lucky there, but
right.
roller coasters, bro, it's usually side by side. So now somebody's riding alone, and I know it's going to be me.
Yeah,
But I've heard that 3 is kind of it's a little bit easier than 2 because you might have to care for one, but
right.
if this one doesn't want to play with that one, then maybe the other one will. So
Yeah,
you guys gonna think about having 3 or what?
yeah, yeah, I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the first couple months of Blakely, like, we are like, "Oh my gosh," it's an adjustment, having another
Mhm.
one in there, but now that she's a little bit more self-sufficient, I guess she can sleep. I mean, she's 6 months old. She's sitting up. She's not crawling yet.
Yeah.
I would say the 6 to 8 month range is probably the best, easiest stage
Oh,
there
yeah.
is because they they're pretty well adjusted. They eat pretty well. They sleep well overall, naps, things like that.
Those are the
They can
glory
sit up,
months.
they can play, they can't move yet. When they start moving, it's just it's great when they can, but,
Yeah.
I think that 6 to 8 month is kind of sweet. But yes, we're thinking about another one, but I
Dude,
got 2 girls, I gotta try for a boy, right?
dude,
You
you
got I
got to
mean,
try, you
yeah,
gotta try, and I feel like once they're all close in age, so if you're gonna have a 3rd, have them in the next year or so, and that would be great. Then they're all kinda growing up right around the same age, but it can be challenging because 'cause you're gonna have multiple kids in diapers.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
but
Oh,
it's
yeah. I'm
my
sure.
wife and I had talked, she's like, "Hey, I wanna have another baby," and I'm like, "At this point, Adeline is about to turn 8,
Yeah,
Grayson's
that was
already
recently,
10."
right?
Yeah, I'm like,
Come on,
"There's
man.
no way, bro,
It's
I
the
gotta get
easiest
that
stage, dude. Come
reversal
on,
done.
get
I
the
ain't
infant,
doing
man,
it."
It's the easiest time.
No, I'm gonna hard pass the teething stage. I can't go back.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, I Blakely just cut her first tooth, like, yesterday,
Oh, I'm
so
sorry to hear it.
that's what I'm saying. Things are smooth, and then something out tooth, and then she'll be crawling,
Yeah, and
It's
my kids aren't cutting teeth, they're losing teeth, so it's like,
yeah,
they always go through that little awkward when they lose the front 2,
yeah.
they look like little hillbillies,
Dude,
they're just like they're
I
smiling, they
know.
got
I
both of them don't have front teeth,
that's
and
funny, man.
it is it's so I think if you had them, like I said, around the same age, you might run into that where they're all losing the teeth at the
Yeah, you
exact
get all the
same time.
stages at once, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
right,
In a way.
exactly,
Yep,
so
yep.
yeah, but so I know parenting life, do you ever get time for recreation? You like to golf, right?
Yeah, I like to when I can. I mean, I'm not playing a lot of weekend golf.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's either if I'm so my parents live in Houston, and my dad's a big golfer, so that's something that we do a lot.
Mm,
So if we ever go back and see them, or even my in-laws, my father-in-law loves golf, so if it's we're if we're visiting one of the sets of families, I'll play maybe a couple times
yeah.
that weekend because we have a lot of hands with the kids, and then sometimes if work is slower in the afternoon or something like that, I'll be able to get out. And I have built-in golf trips, probably a couple per year,
Mhm.
honestly, that I have scheduled out to where it's an expectation that we playing and it's on the calendar
Right.
with buddies and stuff like that. I mean, I have one coming up in September. It's with 20 guys from Baylor, and we were all in the same fraternity. Everyone in the group is pretty much a single digit handicap, and it's
Dang,
a
dude.
it's a it's a pretty intense golf tournament, and I've actually gotten a lot of business from that group as well, which has been a really good kind of. I mean, I don't look at it as a networking source in a sense, but just it is a good network, So
Anything that
coming,
you do
yeah,
outside of your everyday sitting at the house is good networking.
hmm,
Even if it's not really intended for that,
right.
and it always works out. But dude, you got to come out because every year we do the Guns and Hoses tournament
I've seen
out
you
in
doing that,
Garland,
yeah.
dude. It's so much fun. We usually try and bring in at least 2 ringers, like see, we're trying to compete, but
Yeah.
dude, you ought to come out and do
Jeez,
that
man.
one. I think
Yeah,
it'd
you
be a
never
lot of
called me,
fun.
man. Come on, let's
Well,
go.
I'll,
Let's do
I'll
it.
call you. I'll call you on the next one.
Yeah.
My parents, they live in the Villages out in
Okay.
Florida, and they have so many. Now they're like little executive courses. Most of them are par 3, and you have a couple like par 4 courses. So they play all the time,
Yeah.
and man, it is so much fun. Like when I get to go out there and do it. But both of my parents have now hit a hole in one. My mom has hit a hole in one twice.
Really?
Dude, I'm like, yo, that's
So she
crazy
must be
because
pretty good.
she is good. But before that, they weren't really avid golfers
Yeah.
until they moved out there. Back in, must've been 2020. Yeah, they moved out of California right as we had moved out.
What part of Florida are you in?
They live in, the Villages. It's
Where
basically just north of Orlando.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really cool little area. The houses, they're all kind of very similar, but they're different colors.
They're all built in the same kinda way. Like, they all have
Right,
Florida houses have that. It's not it's not concrete, but, like, we have a lot of brick here,
right.
right? But I don't know
It's
what is
stucco.
stucco.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
stucco. It looks like the Truman Show because every
yeah,
house, it looks relatively similar, but the lawns are, like, perfectly manicured for each one of them, and
yeah,
I'm sure that the HOA is probably pretty strict on it,
yeah,
or everybody pays for it, but it's just a bunch of, 55 and older, people out there, and it's perfectly manicured lawn one after another. Everything is super clean. It's a nice little spot.
yeah,
Now it does have a reputation.
yeah.
Everybody puts the little loofahs on the thing. Apparently, it's a huge swinger
Oh,
area.
man.
My parents don't do that.
Alright, good, good.
So,
Yeah.
but it's a cool little spot. It would
Yeah.
be fun to go out there and golf.
Sweet. That'd be awesome, man. Yeah, I went to Florida earlier this year. We went to more Jupiter, Palm Beach
Oh,
area.
really?
We played 2 courses. We actually played one that was founded by Rory McIlroy and Ernie Els. It was awesome.
Oh,
We knew
really?
a pro there. The initiation fees were right around $1 million at this
Oh,
place, and we got on for free. It's pretty sweet.
dude, I can't even get into Rockwell Golf and Athletic Club for like less than $80 a round
Yeah,
because I'm not a member. Like
yeah,
that's crazy
yeah.
to
And,
be
and
able to
we,
get
we're
that.
not members there, but we got on. We knew a pro there, so like he worked there and he let us on, and it was amazing. It was
Dude,
they have like 3 courses out there, state of the art. I mean, each course on property had their own different clubhouse.
mhm.
And they had like villas and everything like that. I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah, we're really excited because Grayson and I are about to get into, and I think Adeline wants to do it too. But we're about to get a little membership over here to the Buffalo Creek
Okay.
because he wants to
Oh, I've
start.
heard of Buffalo Creek.
He
Yeah,
wants to start golfing, and I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
it's
That's
a great way to. The reason why I love it, it really takes. Yep, you have to focus fully on like when you're playing. Like there's not many other things that can distract you from it because you're.
yeah,
I don't know. It's a focus sport. Of course, you can have fun at the same time. It's either you got multiple sets of golfers. You got your guy who wants to go out there and just drink as many beers as he can, be outside, hit the
yeah,
ball
that's
around.
me.
That's fun. That's fun, and done that before as well at scrambles and bachelor parties and things like that. And then you can do that, or you can also kind of try to improve as well, which is fun in its own way. I mean, every single round you play, even if you play the same course over and over again,
Mhm.
it's going to be a different challenge. I mean, you're always gonna have different shots, different thing. I mean, it's a great.
It is, and I feel like for him, he needs the excitement of a constant, like a constant movement.
Yeah,
He's been trying for soccer, and like he'll run up there, but then it's like waiting around. You're kind of like waiting for your opportunity for things. Some of the kids are just more aggressive than he is. Like
yeah,
he's just not quite as aggressive as a kid, and so I can see that he doesn't really enjoy that as much. But even if we're not hitting for the goal of actually getting it in the hole, we go out there to the driving range and he can just swing,
yeah,
hit the ball, see how it went, put the next ball down, swing. Eventually, he'll want to play the game,
yeah,
but at least that's going to keep him actively doing something, entertained for it,
for sure.
and we'll practice chipping, we'll practice putting.
Yeah.
He's really going to
How
enjoy
how old
that.
is he again?
He's 10.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's great. And even if it's not like the other thing about golf too is I've only had one lesson. I mean, I'm not a great golfer, but I can shoot in the 80s or 70s sometimes and stuff. I'm not
What?
not great,
No, that's a great golfer,
but
bro. Like
well,
I shoot in the hundreds.
but the thing I think that like where I've improved, like I haven't I've had one lesson, like I said,
Mhm.
but the thing about golf is you get the feedback right away when you hit the ball, and you can kind of make adjustments on your own for what works for you. My swing is not pretty.
I don't know. How do you make adjustments? I just slice it every single time. Like
YouTube videos, there's reels now. You can turn your hand in a little bit, or turn it out,
I
or
have
swing
been
more
trying
flat,
that.
swing more steep. Like they're change it on every swing until you start hitting it right, and then repeat that movement.
Yeah, yeah, good luck with that. If only it was so easy
Right.
as to do that.
Yeah, but then yeah, where I get messed up is I get in my head too much, and I become a head case and stuff like that, and there's I don't know.
See, every time that I go out golfing, and I don't go out very often, but it always seems like it's pretty hot. And I try to go early in the morning. I will have beers. I'm drinking those, but I'll have not in abundance, not to anywhere to where I'm actually even getting,
Yeah,
even buzzed, but by the end of the match, because we take so long out there, it's usually like 5 hours
dude.
because we're not good, and it's so hot, I come home with the biggest ripping headache, and I just can't shake it,
Yeah,
and so it's like until I start actually
dude.
hydrating and hitting the ball and getting done with the match in 3 hours, I don't see that changing.
It's so funny because, and I'm still learning this. I haven't perfected it, but my wife, she'll send me reels on Instagram and stuff like that. There's a lot of golf comedy and things like that. And so they had the husband sitting down in basically a chair like this, and the wife's up. She has a PowerPoint.
Mhm.
Things to not say after you or when you come home after playing golf. And she's like pointing all these things out. It's like, don't say I'm tired. Don't say my back hurt. Like all these things. And like I can just relate to that so much because dude, after you play a full round of golf, and even if you had a couple beers or whatever, like got a headache, you're tired. It's a decent amount of walking. If you ever wear like an Apple Watch or a Whoop or whatever while you're playing, you burn a lot more calories and more steps than you actually think, even if you're in a cart.
Right.
I mean, so just being out, but that's not the best thing to do. Like after you've been out there with your buddies all day having so much fun, she's at home with the kids, taking care of the house, things like that, or whatever. Coming home saying, "Oh, I'm tired, lay down," and I can't.
I'm
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm telling you, I came home after the tournament, this last year, and I got home and I started changing the filters in the pool,
Yeah,
like, the skimmer baskets, and the sun was radiating, like, hitting me in the eyes, and I had this, I mean, absolute crashing headache. It felt like I was getting hit in the head with a bat, like, it was, like,
dude.
causing me to flinch with my eyes, and, I mean, I have headaches anyway, but these are way beyond what I've had
Yeah,
before, and I'm like, can't really complain," but she set me down. She put me in a nice cool room and
yeah.
and made it she's like,
That's
"Just go lay
good,
down." I
man.
was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this
I
is
need
so
to start
supportive."
trying to get like massages after I golf or something. Maybe she'll. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you got to
right?
take care of like you got to take care of the body. Make sure I'm good for the next golf game for so I can win some money on the course, things like that.
Ugh.
You got to frame it in that way. But the so I've tried to be better at that. When I come home from just a single golf round during the week, don't say you're tired,
Yeah.
basically. But I go on those golf trips every once in a while, and so the one that I do in September, we play Thursday, 1 round. We do 2 rounds Friday, 2 rounds Saturday, and 1 round Sunday.
Really?
And thing that's kind of funny about me is when like I get so excited about golf. It's just something that I love. And I don't like if we're doing competitive golf and things like that,
Mhm.
I don't sleep either. So I'm playing all of those golf rounds. I haven't slept the whole weekend. I probably had drinks throughout the course of the weekend as well with buddies in the sun and the heat. And I come back and I'll admit I'm a shell of myself for probably a couple days. It's not good. So I don't know. Maybe we need to bring like a cold plunge to the course or something like that
Ye
every day.
That wouldn't
Probably
hurt.
just I mean, liquid. Just be in the sun itself. Even if you don't have beers, you're still gonna be tired. Like
Those liquid IVs make a big difference. I brought one, I should say that headache that I was having, that was 2 seasons ago or 2 of those tournaments ago. Because this last one, I did take a bunch of liquid IVs.
yeah.
I still had the headache afterwards, but it wasn't as bad because I was, like, having a couple of those kinda
Or
throughout the
just have
day.
water, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
water's you talk about the stuff from the toilet?
the
Like,
only
no
reason
way.
that I don't drink a ton or anything, but like I went through a while where I was shanking the ball a lot. And if you've ever shanked the ball,
Mhm.
it's terrible. Like,
Right.
and when I do it, I'll continually do it. Like, it's something that's just wrong in my swing. I'm hitting off the hosel and it's going straight right.
Off
So,
the hosel?
yeah,
Is
the
that a
hosel.
word?
So that's where where the shaft of the club meets the head.
The shaft meets the head of
Say
the
this is
hosel.
the head of the club right
Uh-huh.
here. You're hitting it off this. It's something where I'm either leaning in or like
Yeah.
everyone does it eventually, but it's something that's almost like it's not. I would say almost a mental block, but in a way. So, anyways, leading back to that, I would have to have a couple beers or something before I play because I would get nervous, like
Yeah.
that I would do that, and so it frees me up a little bit, and then I'm not thinking about my swing,
Right.
so it's a little bit necessary in a way, or else I'm at least just like clenched up and
Is
so
that why you insisted on us having a couple of gin and tonics before this podcast
couple. This is
episode?
one. No, this is just
I'm just
water,
kidding.
man. This is just
It's just that water, okay, yeah.
no, no.
That's
That's
funny, dude.
yeah,
No, but,
yeah.
like, I never grew up really playing golf. I did try it when I was a kid, but when I was a kid, I played a lot of roller hockey.
Mhm.
I played a lot of baseball, and it was just golf was maybe just kinda like a little bit of a pastime, and now it's like I wanna play baseball. Actually, I really wanna play softball. Like,
Dude, softball's fun.
dude, it's
It's
really
way more
fun.
fun than baseball ever was, to be honest with you. Like,
It's because you don't have to worry about getting hit by a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Like,
yeah,
I don't want that.
it's so fun, dude. I haven't played in a while. A little bit in intramurals and stuff like that. And then
Right.
I've played. My buddy's invited me. He's on a team. Played a couple times here and there,
I
like as a sub, I
I
guess.
played, in a league maybe about 2 or 3 years ago now, and it was so much fun. It was just a little intramural league.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun, and, we've tried to get back into playing it again, and it just like, the league fell apart. We
Really,
had signed up for it, but not
I'm
enough
sure you
people
could
had
find
paid.
another one. Yeah,
Dude, I
they're
wish you weren't so far away, because if you could, we
I
could
know, bro.
definitely sign up for
There's
a
got to be
league.
something. I mean, even in Dallas or something like, yeah,
Yeah, but do I wanna drive to Dallas? That's too
I was in
far.
the. I guess with traffic, so I was in the city. I mean, it was 25 minutes from your house, I guess.
To
So
get to Dallas from
yeah,
my house? Yeah, because we have moved a little bit closer, so that
yeah,
might not be so bad. But we were playing in Rowlett, and it was a good time.
yeah, dude. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, and this is another reason why I try to stick to golf. Even softball, like I don't know, like every getting older. I mean, almost 30 at this point, right? I don't want to make
Mhm.
you feel old or anything,
Yeah, I'm
but
feeling real old.
dude, I swear for the last, because I try to work out as much as I can, at least a couple times a week, and
Yeah.
I would say over the last month, 2 months, something different has hurt probably every workout that I've done over the last, 60 days.
Welcome to the
Dude,
30s,
is
bro.
that a thing?
That is
No,
absolutely a thing. I swear it feels like everything like I had ailments before, but 30 just heightened them all. And
dude.
maybe it's just because I can't be as active as I used to be because of the ailments. Or it's just that I have zero motivation sometimes to do anything at all.
Yeah, but man, I feel like I've stayed relatively active, but
Hmm.
whatever it's been I don't know if I need to get adjusted or something like that,
Hmm.
but every workout that I swear it's been something different every time. Yesterday, my oblique was hurting. I mean, the day before I was doing lunges, my knee started hurting. I've had something put me out for probably 2, 3 weeks on lifting. I've had like a back or self-diagnosed rib out of place. I don't know if you
uh,
ever had that where you breathe in and you're feeling it. I like is that I mean, it's been something different
Dude, I
every
didn't
time.
know that your rib could be out of place like that, and now that you said it, so I went out, and this was a few years ago. My buddy took us out, we went wakeboarding for the first time I've done it in
Yeah,
forever, and we were going, and I was having a good time with it. I was being able to stand up, and I was like, the last time I'm like, I'm getting tired, but I was like, "Alright, we're gonna do one more time." I swear, standing up, I fractured my rib. Like, it
dude.
may have maybe it was out of place. I don't know that a rib could be out
Yeah,
of place, but I was pretty sure that I fractured my rib because afterwards, like, I'm, like, holding on, but I'm thinking, like, "Oh my god, my rib is absolutely killing me." I could hardly breathe. I get off of the boat, my rib hurts for 6 months afterwards,
dude.
and I was it
Was
was
it on
horrible.
the side or
Yeah.
mine was on my back? It was so
Oh,
weird. But the
really?
guys in my office were telling me it was a rib. I don't know, man. I mean, then I chat GPT'd for a while. It told me it was a rib too, so I think it's a rib.
I feel like you could almost maybe go over to the chiropractor, then maybe they could pop it back in place or
Yeah,
something, who knows?
yeah, it's not bothering me now, but it probably will be bothering me tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, for sure. So, you used to play baseball.
Yeah.
What was the story behind that? Like,
Yeah, so I played baseball. I mean, all growing up, really. I
mhm,
played baseball and basketball. I put basketball away probably freshman year of high school and kind of focused in on baseball. Uh, I was really serious about it in high school, and
you look like a baseball player.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what position I played?
You probably play
Uh,
alright, I'm gonna guess you played second base.
no, catcher.
Catcher, I should have
Catcher.
known.
But anyways, so yeah, I ended up getting a scholarship to Dallas Baptist out of high school, and I got there. Well, my baseball career ended quickly when we got into college, and I'll kind of explain what happened. Is so the summer before I got to DBU, um, I had some kind of dead arm, like I was throwing the ball,
Mhm.
arm was hurting a little bit, and wasn't getting like I think my arm was just fatigued, honestly. Like it wasn't coming out as quickly. The velocity was down, things like that. So playing catcher, caught third strike, was going to throw it to third baseman, throw it around the horn, and the ball like, I tried to ease up on it because my arm was kinda hurting. The ball came out of my hand kinda weird, and so, ever since that point and that summer before I got to DBU, I never threw the baseball again normally. Like, I basically have you heard of the yips before?
No, what
I mean, and I don't have a definition of it, but it's basically, like, where something simple in sports, like, it's become completely almost foreign in a way. Like, I couldn't throw normally again.
really?
Really odd. Like, there's the most common forms I'd say are, like, throwing in baseball for a catcher typically, it's either back to the pitcher is when they kind of form it or even around the horn where it's, like, such an easy, simple thing and you start overthinking it.
Uh-huh.
There's putting yips in golf, so, like, short putts, like, if you go look up putting yips on reels or whatever, you'll see guys on the PGA Tour that have it that miss several short putts in a row in the same
Really?
sequence. Um, Shanking the golf ball, I've already mentioned that, so have 2 of the 3 forms of yips in the past, but, like, shanks, it's weird, almost inexplicable, like, I've literally done this my whole life normally. I got a pretty good scholarship to play Division I baseball, and so I went through the fall at DBU, and it didn't really show its face too much, like, I just felt like I was throwing kinda not great, and then
Mhm.
in the spring, like, I pretty much fully lost my ability to throw the baseball, like, I could throw it, but it would either spike out of my hands, sail over who I was playing catch with or throwing to, so I ended up getting redshirted, played that summer, I moved positions, coaches recommended I mean, because it's not something that's so rare, like, if someone's played baseball at least through college or even into the pros, they've probably had this once,
Mhm.
most likely. I would say at least 50% of players have had the yips before, and there's ways to get over it, either sports psychology or just taking some time off. I was recommended the coaches so I had my exit meeting at DBU, and I didn't play because I got redshirted because I really couldn't play because
Yeah.
of my throwing issue. And both coaches, the head coach and the assistant coach, they both said, "We know what you're going through." Like, it's not something that's, like, brought up while it's happening, but the exit meeting, they're like, "We know what you're going through. We've actually both had this. Um, we can give you the option to come back next year," or like what I did, the coach was saying this to me, is I transferred and moved positions for a little while because it
Okay.
totally reset my mind, what the coach was saying, and kinda gives you a completely new scene for your mind. It's a mental thing, obviously.
So, do you think that it's kind of because you're playing at such a higher level and you had the pressure of playing at the higher level that you're started overthinking this? Is that really kinda you think what causes
It
it or what?
I don't know if it was necessarily that, like, it could have been that deep
Mhm.
down, but man, like, it I can go back to that one instance when I was in summer, not even at the school. I was playing summer ball for a separate team before I even enrolled at
Okay.
DBU, and so I just I it came out of my hand weird, then I started playing catch. Even that day, I remember spiking the ball, I was like, "Dude, what is going on?" And it kinda just built and built and built, and I think when I got there, eventually it continued to get worse because of maybe, like, I'm a college baseball player,
Yeah.
Division I, like, and I can't throw the baseball right now. Like, and so it's such a weird, humbling I mean, and ultimately, like, and we can talk about this more, but, like, it 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 became a good thing, a blessing in disguise, like, kind of because my whole life I was just a baseball player in my mind, and so
So,
it's
that's just God's path then, I think, for you
yeah,
because everything always really happens for a reason.
yeah,
Whether you think it's for the better or the worse, or it's the challenges that's ahead to form you into the person that you are
for sure.
today,
Yeah,
it's just what has to happen.
yeah,
And hey, it is what it is. I feel like when I was a kid, like, I used to play all the time. I was really good, and I got into skateboarding, everything along those lines, but I wasn't really playing the sport as much, and
mhm,
then all of a sudden, I tried going back and playing in high school, and I was the same way. It wasn't necessarily from that, but I
yeah,
couldn't even run backwards. Like, we would run these little sprints that'd go around through the outfield, and then you had to, like, basically backpedal. I could not do it. I
yeah,
was, like, ahead of the pack for the running, all of a sudden backpedaling, it's almost like I just didn't even know how to use my own legs anymore. Never ended up making the team, and
yeah,
that was kind of the end of playing sports in general. It
yeah,
was
yeah, I mean, definitely, like, everything, does happen for a reason, and you could always find good in things, I believe,
Yeah,
and, I would say, like, we talked about this before, like, grew up in the church my whole life and things like that, but my faith at that point, like, hadn't really been tested in a
mhm,
big way, but just from a life experience here, like, I've literally worked my whole life to get to this point, to be a
right.
like, I always just wanted to be a college baseball player. I always wanted to be a baseball player in general, and it became so much of my identity. I realized that at first, but, like, I had no other choice but to just, like, surrender it because even when I was still on the team, because it was so embarrassing, it was humiliating, like, not being able to guys knew what was going on, like, I was having a hard time with this, but
And
I
that
couldn't
doesn't
do
help the
anything on my own
situation.
strength. I
That
like, you know
that's
what I
gonna
mean?
just make that's gonna almost
Exactly.
exacerbate the issue.
Yeah, so, like, I literally couldn't do anything to fix the problem other than maybe take time off or I mean, I even talked with um, a sports, psychology yeah,
Yeah.
psychologist through that time, like, that didn't help, So it's like, that's where I would say, like, my faith really, I would say grew during that period because I really like, that was my identity baseball for a while, and so it was a good thing ultimately, like, ended up transferring to Baylor after that,
Oh, right on.
hung the cleats up, that's where I met my wife, like, a lot of my
See?
best friends, I mean,
Yeah,
things that there's good that's come out of it, and
sure. So
yeah.
what did you do? So you after you kinda baseball had changed,
Mhm.
and did you continue did you end up graduating there, or what
So
did you
yeah, so I graduated at Baylor,
Okay.
yeah, so I transferred from DBU just freshman year, and then I went to Baylor after that, graduated, and then, yes,
What
sir,
was
this
your degree in?
it was actually in, exercise physiology,
Ah,
yeah, I had a business minor, so I after baseball, I really got into, like, physical training and stuff like that,
mhm.
and, that was kind of a different outlet for me a little bit, just, like, lifting weights and exercising and things like that. You probably wouldn't know by looking at me now.
Now you're
But,
fit, dude. You're at least you're looking good and, like and kind of
I
fit up, but
I
you're just
I
not
look
like
decent with a shirt on, I mean, it's nothing special, but, I'm definitely hiding the gut. Everyone so you can see it every
My
once in a while.
wife, she also makes me wear a shirt sometimes.
Mm.
So
Yeah, but, yeah, so I majored in exercise physiology, just because I wanted to or what I thought I wanted to do in college was work in college athletics in another way, like strength training and things like that. I ended up getting an internship with Baylor when I was there, and, um, through that, it was like it was almost a year deal that I was
Really?
working with them, and through that, I just kinda realized I didn't wanna do that. That was kinda towards the end of my college career, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
So ended up adding a business minor, and out of college, I worked on a freight dock for like 8 months
Oh, really? Like, where
yeah.
was that at?
It was the company was called ArcBest. It was logistics. That's
Mhm.
basically what it was sold to me as. It is logistics. But I didn't realize that I would be literally working on a freight dock. Like, and I wasn't driving a forklift or anything like that. I was a supervisor, so I was supervising, which what was really odd to me too was like I was a guy just out of college and I was the one telling guys that have been on a freight dock who drove the forklifts and who loaded the trailers
Right.
and things like that. But I was the one telling them what to do. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing. Why am I telling these guys what to do? They
Yeah.
know what to do. They've been on this dock like for 30 years, man. Like, so it was just weird. But aside from
That's the
that,
military too. It's the same exact way.
oh,
You
really?
have these guys who are enlisted, and granted, they may have 2 years of college, but some of them, no college at all, but they've been in the military for, let's say, 10 years, and, they're way up there, and all of a sudden, here comes this fresh butter bar lieutenant right out of college who is now like, you're answering to him, "Yes, sir. No, sir." And I'm thinking,
Really?
"Dude, you got a 22-year-old who's talking down almost to or maybe not talking down, but ordering around some 30 or 35-year-old who's been in for 10
Yeah. It's
10 to
like,
12
dude,
years."
those
It's
guys. So how does the lieutenant get that power? I don't know anything about the
it's
military,
the
but like,
commission.
what?
They get once you're in as like, you get that 4-year degree and you commission into the military, that's how you become like, in the officer corps,
So they're getting a
you're the
degree
supervisor.
from Air Force, Navy, West Point, or
It
what's
it
the,
could
is it?
be anything. You can get it from a military college like West Point. You could get a 4-year degree at Baylor and put in a commission package, when
What's
you're
a
joining.
commission package? I don't even know what that is.
It's basically like,
Like an
"Hey,
application?
I" right,
Okay.
and you're looking at getting a career in the military, and you saying, "Hey, I meet the criteria for this. I wanna go through the officer corps route." You put in your application, they accept that, and then you'll still go through the same
Okay.
training programs, but then you're an officer, so you're just in charge, you fresh out of knowing really nothing, and you're in charge of
Dude,
people's lives, legitimately,
that's
like, depending
crazy.
on what the career is, so
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, anyway, so but I feel you,
Yeah.
it's an awkward position to be in.
It is, man. Yeah, so but it's not even that what I didn't love about the job. I mean, got married pretty soon after we graduated, and so started this job fresh, newly married, and I was working night shifts. I mean, I worked all sorts of different shifts. I worked, 7 AM to 7 PM.
Yeah.
Worked like 2 to 2. It was 12-hour shifts. The cool thing was, though, I would work 5 days on and get 5 days off.
Oh, you
So it was
can't
like
beat
a
that.
rotating schedule. So I would while my wife was working, when I was off, like, I would go play golf pretty much every day,
Really?
which was kinda cool. That's when I got better at golf, I'd say, just playing more, but, like, that was the cool thing about it, but it wasn't for my lifestyle, wasn't sustainable at that point. And then, I was doing it for about 8 months,
Okay.
and that's kinda when I fell into the mortgage business. So
Dude,
I went from the freight
that's
dock to
quite the fall, like, that's
I
a
know.
big change to I mean, I guess it has to do with kinda building up the business, so, I
Yeah.
know since you've been in the mortgage business, stuff like I said, we've done a lot of business after, what's the plan? Are you gonna keep on doing this as a full-time career forever? Do you have any other kind of ambitions or anything like that?
Yeah, I think pretty soon here I'm gonna, transition to a pro golfer, so
Right, yeah,
no.
that's I was thinking pro baseball for myself, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna make the cut.
Yeah, so, I mean, the plan I would say right now I'm still very much in the growth phase of my career. I mean,
Sure.
I would say jumping in. I got licensed. I started in 2021. I worked for a top producer for probably 18 months or so, my first 18 months. So from
Mhm.
21 to mid 2022, I was just a loan officer assistant and basically does similar jobs as a loan officer, other than really the prospecting, gaining new business side. It's gathering documents in from clients, structuring loan estimates and things like that for the client
Right.
from really contract to close and even the shopping phase. Um, and then getting into it 2022, that you probably remember this pretty well. It early 2022 rates were in the I think 3-4% range. End of
Right.
2022, 7%. So
It
things
was
were
a
it,
wild shock to the system for a lot of people. As they
yeah,
saw them going up, people were getting like, "Oh, it's 5% now?
yeah,
I'm not buying that." Now it's like, "Oh, 5%, I
5%.
would kill for that."
Me and my buddy laughed because it was one of the first loans I did. I mean, it was in August, I think, of 22, and we were looking at, I think 5 and a quarter, something like that, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, man, you'll be re" I was like, "Dude, you'll be refinancing this, yeah, soon here. Like, you'll be refinancing 5.2." We
We
laugh about
all
it now.
thought that.
We laugh about it now because I quickly learned I don't know, I mean, I I never think it's a good idea to tell someone, even now or last year, whenever, this course has passed 4 or 5 years, you're gonna be refinancing this loan because who knows at that point, but I learned that quickly to I think it could be a good sales tactic for some loan officers that are just trying to get the check, but I don't think it's in the best interest of the client. Like, you always have to say, "Hey, you're you're locked here, and if rates do fall, you have you're able to look at that," but it's
Right.
not guaranteed. But it's just funny looking back as a new loan officer, like, some of the things that I learned through that period of watching rates continue to rise, and so it's been an interesting time to start business in a sense, because I think a lot of people have been leaving the industry overall, mortgage and real estate,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
for
a lot
sure.
of people, you see the numbers, and it's kind of a deal where, uh, kind of a survival deal over the first couple years, and so I'm still in that growth phase in a sense. Like, my business has really grown. I think this is my 4th year as a originator, so my business has really grown this year. I've seen, big strides, but, still there's ups and downs, you know what I mean? So
Right, and I think that now that rates have they steadied out, and then they haven't because welcome to the US economy right now and this war in Iran, it's already changed in the last 2 days. In
Yeah.
the last 2 days,
Yeah.
things have gone up, and it's just been so much kind of fluctuation. I still feel like that's scaring people away, but we're still in better rates than we were a couple of years
Yeah.
ago, and therefore, I've already seen a nice little kind of run up with the buy side,
Yeah.
and it is a little bit relieving, but then all of a sudden, a bunch of agents are leaving the industry. Good, because there's a lot of agents who need to leave the industry, not
Exactly.
because I need more people for myself, but because people suck at their job, and that's what I love about you, and we've been working together so well is because there has not been a time now, I'm not saying problems don't eventually come up,
Yeah.
but there's not been one time since we started that I was like, "Hey, Trent," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, we got it pre-approved," and we have not made it to the closing table.
Yeah.
There's always been some sort of creative way, and we might need to brainstorm it together, but we've always made it happen. That's hard to
Well,
say for others.
that's yeah, and I appreciate that, man. I mean, yeah, that's it's you doing your work too on the front end and stuff like that. I mean, takes both of us all to get to the closing table. You know what I mean? So, but that's where I would say the experience of that I had for the first 18 months of my career, because the loan officer that I was working for, I think we closed over 100 million in volume. So like, what's that? Maybe 20 to 30 units
Mhm.
a month.
Wow.
And so we had a small team. We had 2 other LOAs on the team as well, loan officer assistants, so 3 in total. And so we would see so many loans come through the door. Because if you're closing 20 to 30 loans a month, that's not 20 or 30 applications a month. That's, I don't know, 70,
Right,
I would say, or maybe applications, maybe I don't know, 50 to 60, but leads, maybe 100 a
right.
month. So I was able to get a really good grasp of what a qualified buyer looks like, or even someone that we could help, and
Mhm.
maybe they weren't ready at that time. I mean, that was a big thing about our team coming up was you don't say no to someone and just say you can't buy a house. It's if they're not quite ready, it's what can we do to get in that position to buy. Um, so you mentioned like I I don't know if I really want to say this, but I will. But there hasn't been a deal like from my own origination that has gone into escrow that hasn't closed unless it was inspection. It's never been a loan issue. So like that's
That
I still
right
want to be
there is
humble,
the
but
Disney
it's seeing
difference.
those
I'm telling you.
it's kind of foreseeing things that um can bring them. Actually, there has been one, but there's been one deal actually that has, and it was for a little bit different reasons. But there's been one deal over the last 4 years. So
Not with me, it
yeah,
hasn't been,
it
so
hasn't.
I'm
So
always
I'll admit it's not perfect, but there's it's seeing things that can come up during that process. Now there's deals where it's been before escrow and we're like, can't qualify.
There's the deals
So
where the person qualifies for everything and then says, "You know what? I'm going to buy that car right now before closing because I want a nice new car in the nice new driveway."
yeah,
And they say, "Well, great. Enjoy, continue to stay in
you
that
better sell
rental."
your current one
Yeah.
then. You
Yeah,
know?
right, so
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but it's, we've had a good track record. We've had good business that's came through. We've always been able to kind of figure it out, and that's a big difference. And you guys have pretty awesome rates. How do the rates now compare to when you were at you were at Cherry Creek
yeah.
before, and how are your rates now at the new company?
They're honestly like they're overall pretty similar. Now the so I moved from a banking model to a broker model
Mhm.
recently. And so that's the main difference is we had a couple different options. Everything like at the bank, everything was funded by our own line, so it was in-house essentially. So um, we usually just had our rate sheet, and that's what we could offer. Um, Now I have flexibility in a sense of I can shop a bunch of different lenders at once. I really only use 1 or 2 to be honest with you. Out of the I would say we have 20, 25 lenders that we can use.
Is that just because you're having a good reputation with them? Is it because they got the best rates? Is it because they got
The
the best
the
closing?
the Typically, like, the cheapest lender is not gonna get the job done.
Not always the best one,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
mean
Ask Rocket Mortgage, they'll tell you right there.
yeah.
We had that deal that we were working
Yeah.
with you, and then all of a sudden, Rocket Mortgage came in and undercut you as the buyer, and you're like, "Whoa, I can't match that."
Yeah.
And come to find out, neither could Rocket Mortgage. They actually ended up coming back, and it was a nightmare
Yeah.
because they ended up going, "Oh, we put in the wrong purchase price," which we were already under contract before we ever even
That's bad,
contacted
dude.
them, and it was such a nightmare. God, why didn't you just go with Trent? And I think they ended up charging more than you guys were charging at that
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
I can't stand them. I
Yeah.
can't stand them
Yeah.
for it.
So overall, like if you're working with a good lender, I would say rates are going to be relatively similar from lender to lender. Like I can go find a cheaper rate for you. Like say you're closing in 20 days, I can go find the cheapest lender and yes, they're going to be better price than the one I normally use or the one that where I was at prior. They're gonna be cheaper, but there's a reason typically why they are. So I think for purchases especially, you have to have a repeatable process in a sense, even if you're a broker to where like I think that's where some brokers can get in trouble is because they're looking at the absolute best rate
Mhm.
for the buyer. And like they could go with X lender versus maybe there's a lender that's still probably better priced than most of the market or right at market, who's a lot better that you know the repeatable process with. If you do that other like you have no like even if I mean it's hard to close quickly sometimes with those because they're understaffed and things like that.
Right.
Getting docs out on time is a huge thing. Like I don't know if you've ever had deals where you're a day out from closing and the lender still hasn't gotten docs. I've actually seen that
Yeah, I've seen it.
in experimenting with other lenders on my end that I've seen over the last year being a broker. I've figured out like I'm probably not going to use this lender again. Getting
Yeah.
getting docs out a couple hours before closing, not the greatest thing. Like the one I use is UWM the most. I don't know if you've heard much of them, but it's pretty incredible. The underwriting process is unbelievable. Same day turn times, get docs out days before closing. We're clear to close in 7
Right.
days. I mean, it's a great.
I think the most complaining that I've heard is, and a lot of people get irritated by this, is when the house closes and everything gets funded and they're like, "Yay," and then all of a sudden immediately the loan is sold off. And now they're switching banks entirely to some unknown thing, and then people call me going, "They've already sold my loan off." And I'm thinking,
I don't even know if you
but
know this,
I
but
but I don't think most of the people that we've worked with before,
yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I don't know
So
how that works, so.
Guild where I was at, we held probably 70% of our loans and the main lender I'm using right now, UWM, they service all of their loans.
Really?
So it will never move. My information's on the mortgage statement, everything like that. So that's another thing as well. Like, and I tell the client, hey, I can shop rates for you. I'm gonna put you with the lender that I feel most comfortable with that will get your loan closed on time,
Mhm.
especially if we have a quick timeline here. Um, and I don't go into too much detail. I don't make rate a massive deal, because I think especially on a purchase, there's a lot of things to meet. Like we don't want to get past the point where we're not closing on time, your earnest money's at risk, things like that. You already got the moving truck lined up, and then oh, closing's pushed back 3 to 5 days or whatever it is. But there's things that come with it as well. Like the lender I use, UWM, they have a reward system for because they service their loans. They have, if you make your mortgage payment on time every month, they give you built-in rewards where you can use on travel, dining, things like that.
Oh, that's tight.
I don't know the exact formula of it, but there's a rewards program with the mortgage payment that no one else does.
Bro,
Um,
that would be so sick if you're like
it's
your
sick.
mortgage company's like, "Oh, hey, thank you for making your mortgage payments on time. Let's send you a gift card to go out to dinner."
No, they no,
That would be so
legitimately,
tight.
they do, and there's, it's pretty cool, but I think there's a value in working with a lender that does service your loan, but if the client say, "Getting getting the lowest rate's really the most important thing with me," we can look at other options, that's where it's good, and I think conversion's gone up a little bit more is because there are flexibilities in there,
Right.
but I will tell you this, UWM, their rates are like, they're better than what you're gonna get most elsewhere, so, you know, without going into too much detail on
Right.
rates and stuff like that, that's kind of the plan that I work with, and
Well,
then
that's awesome,
yeah.
dude. Well, I tell you what, why don't you tell the people who is listening, maybe if they're thinking about getting using a new loan officer, or you're looking at maybe buying a home here in the near future, how can they get in contact you, and how do
Yeah.
you want to?
Yeah, I mean, my cell number. You want me to tell you?
It's up to you if you want to
cell
put yourself.
phone. Yeah, yeah. 832-498-0505, and then that's really the best way. Honestly, text and reach out, and I have a website as well where you can go apply and things like that. So,
All right, give that number one more time.
832-498-0505.
That's the number for the main man, Trent Bonnie.
go,
You know what I
baby.
mean?
Let's
So
go.
this
Yep.
is
Yep.
we'll wrap this episode up, but dude, I appreciate you driving out here. I know it was a little bit of a hike, but
It's
I'm
less
glad
than an
you
hour,
did.
man. Not bad. It's
Yeah,
it's
this
been
is
worse
fun.
before, dude. Trust me. Like even when you're coming to my area, you're like, dude, this is like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we usually
I think
meet
that's
up
where-
somewhere. Like if we're getting together, we're gonna meet up in Dallas.
I know.
Get lunch. and
Dallas
stuff
really
like that
isn't
out
bad
there.
from here, though, man. I tell you, it was like, I was right in downtown. It's like 25 minutes. I was like, dang, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not bad. You know.
Well, everybody, thank you again for tuning in. If you would like, subscribe, share this with some of your friends and family, just in case they need, a mortgage lender here in the near future. We always appreciate it. But thank you, dude, for coming out.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, it was a great time. So everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode.